Hey guys, this is Levi with Stony Ridge Farms, and guy down the road from me called me and wanted me to work on this International 684. The brake on this other side here wasn't working, so he wanted to go ahead and replace both master cylinders. So I put the master cylinders on it, and I had brakes. I bled them, had brakes, and the next morning didn't have brakes on that other side. So since I put the master cylinders on, there was a hey little girl, there was a whole bunch of oil and everything over here on the master cylinders, and you couldn't really tell what was leaking, what wasn't. But once I got the master cylinders on, I could see that the equalizer valve in the middle of the two master cylinders was leaking a little bit. So I'm gonna rebuild that equalizer and see if that fixes it. I really think that the problem is in the axle, the piston on the brake itself. I think maybe the O-rings are bad in it, and you'd have to break the axle down off the tractor to fix that. So I'm gonna rebuild this equalizer and see if that is the problem. But I really think it's probably gonna be the piston back there. So we'll get this thing off, and I'll show you what we got. This is the master cylinders, and both of those are new. This right here, this whole thing is the equalizer valve, and I'm not really sure how all that works. If you press both brake pedals down, it's supposed to equalize the fluid in them so both brakes stop at the same point when they're used together. I read online a lot of people bypass them, but he's not wanting to bypass it, so we're going to get it pulled off there. All you have to do is take these lines off, and I've already had it off once to get the master cylinders on, but I read online a lot of people say you got to take the battery box and everything else out, but if you got small hands and patience, and I guess luckily everything down here is covered in oil, so if you got small hands and patience, you can get that out of there without taking all that apart up there, the battery box. I replaced both of these master cylinders just like this without taking anything else off. So I'm going to go ahead and get these lines off there and pull this thing out so we can look at it. Alright, so this is the equalizer valve, and so what this does is the master cylinders has got pins that sit right here, and when you press both brakes down or one brake or whatever, it moves this out and equalizes the fluid. A new one of these is about $400, and a rebuild kit several hundred. So this was working fine, it's just leaking. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna tear this thing apart, replace the seal and the O-rings in it, and that's it. And thankfully, there's a guy on YouTube that did a lot of research on this, and the seal that's right here, he had the part number for it. So you can get this seal for about $30, and then you can go get the O-rings at your local auto parts store, and it'll be rebuilt. So where this thing is already, I mean, it's working correctly and everything, I don't see the need in getting a rebuild kit. The rebuild kit comes with new springs, new balls in here and everything. So rather than spend a few $100s on it, when I really don't think that this is the issue. We're gonna see. So to get this washer off here, there's a little keeper here. Pull that keeper off. This slides off. And then here's your cylinder. And there's a little cap back here in the back. So what we need to do is prop this thing up, hit this with a hammer, and it'll knock this little cap out, and we can get into this thing. Alright, so I just got 2 nuts here. I'm gonna prop this thing up, tap this with a hammer. See that little cap there? The cap came out. And now this cylinder should come out. Just take a punch, punch that the rest of the way out there. And here's your shaft with the 2 O-rings. So also down inside of here, there's 2 little balls in there, and they're in this little spot right here. You could take those out first, but it really matters when you put it back together. There's a big ball and a small ball in this, and there's an O-ring on this fitting here. There's a spring in here. Take that spring out, and it goes on there. Now you break these fittings off there. And now there's an O-ring on these, and a spring and a ball. So, and you take the other side off. There's an O-ring, a spring, and a ball. So now, I'm going to take these O-rings and get those matched up. And this seal right here, I've ordered that seal, and we can get this thing back together. Alright, I just got that old seal out with the screwdriver. I didn't have the camera going. But I'll put this seal in the description, and that way you all can have it. And like I said, thanks to the YouTube guy. His name is Josh of All Trades, and he really saved a lot of money on this thing. Alright, we're back. I got the O-rings, and I got the new seal. And I'll put the I'll put the part number for the seal in the description. The O-rings, I just went to town and matched them up. So, put the O-rings on here. Once you get the O-rings on and everything, we can put this seal in. I'm just going to tap it in. The seal in, and it is in backwards for this. I'm not really sure why. And we can put our shaft in. So now that we got the shaft in, I'm gonna push this shaft in with a punch here. Put this clip on. Alright. So now we can put these fittings on in these holes here. You got a small ball, a big ball, and the spring. Small ball, big ball, and the spring. Alright, so now put the little cap back in here in the back. Alright, so that's how you rebuild the equalizer valve on the International tractor. So let's get this put in and see if we can bleed the brakes. The equalizer valve is back in its place, and we're ready to bleed the brakes now. I'm not going to video how to bleed the brakes, but it's pretty self-explanatory. You just need a 7/16 wrench, and the bleeder's right there on the back of the axle. You just push the pedal down, hold it down, and crack the bleeder. It'll take several times to get all the air out. And there's also one on this side. You can't see it. It's extremely hard to get to. Thanks, International. So, we'll get the brakes bled on this thing and see if they're gonna hold. Have to wait till tomorrow to see, probably. But hopefully they hold. Alright guys, it's the next day, and I'm gonna fire this International up, see if we still got brakes or if they bled off overnight. Alright, so the right side was the issue, and today it looks like we still got brakes. Left side. Alright, so we had brakes today, both sides and together. So everything seems to be holding. So that's it on the International brake job. Like and subscribe, and the description will have the seal part number, and see you next time.